I want to go over a quick little guide for new players who are probably coming over from Street Fighter. If you're coming from like a Street Fighter background, it's a little bit weird to understand how to build an offense. I think one of the best things to do is to pick a really basic character just to understand how to play the game, and I think that's going to be Dragunov. Oh! Big differences between Tekken 8 and Street Fighter, or let's say Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6, I'm sure you all know your fastest normal is always going to be 4 frames, like a jab or something, right? In Tekken, generally your best overall fastest move is 10 frames, which is your standing jab. If a standing jab is blocked, it's +1, which isn't that much, but it's +1. And that's different from Street Fighter 6 because Street Fighter 6, most lights when they get blocked, they're -1 to -2, which means if you do a jab and then another jab, your opponent is going to lose. And that's like the most basic frame trap you can do. So I'm going to do a single jab and then Dragunov is going to jab back. But then if I do another jab, I frame trap them. That's when your opponents are going to start respecting you. However, if they just block, this is kind of like somebody holding down back in Street Fighter. Remember, stand guard is the default guard in Tekken. Opposite from Street Fighter. Street Fighter, the crouch guard is going to be your default. If you keep on doing this and you keep on hitting with highs or mids, there's nothing your opponent can do. This is going to block everything. How do you open someone up like this? Well, you have to either add in a low attack or you have to throw them. So, you do a single jab, you watch to see what they do. You don't have to sidestep, you don't have to backdash. You just see what they do. If you notice that your opponent is always pushing buttons after you jab them, all you have to do is boom, boom, jab them again. It'll beat them. You hit them with a jab, you hit them with a jab, they respect you because you frame trapped them. What do you do next? Well, you open them up with a low. Boop, boom, boop, open them up with a low. And then that's it. You accomplished your goal. You don't get a combo off this, you don't do anything, you just get your damage, and that's it. So step 1, you frame trap them. Step 2, once you frame trap them and you teach them to respect your pressure, you go for a low if you notice that they're still always stand blocking. Then, after that, if you always go for this, they're going to start to crouch. Boom, now they block that, and then this, you can get punished for this. You've done this a couple of times, your opponent figures out your pattern, and now they're crouch blocking all the time, which means now, instead of going for the low, you go for a very low risk mid. Now you hit them. Great. Now there are higher reward mids, but at a very basic level, jab into down forward 1, which is almost every character's basic mid poke, is your best bet. This will beat people crouching. You can go for higher reward stuff like a launcher, but you can get punished like that. But remember, just jab into down forward 1 is going to be your goal. Now, sometimes you might make a wrong read, and you might go for a jab into down forward 1 and they stand block it. Now, this is 13 frames, which is a very fast mid, not as fast as a jab, and it's only -2, which means you can still sidestep, you can still backdash. -2 is very safe in this game. Don't think of -2 as being very bad. You can't mash afterwards, really. You can, but you sometimes shouldn't. At a basic level, you shouldn't, which means your opponent is going to block, and then they are going to do something fast to beat you. So here I do a down forward 1, and they jab. I'm -2, so even if I jab after this, I get counter hit, right? So what should I do? Well, in Tekken, I think everyone knows there are strings. Dragunov has a string here, down forward 1, which is your mid, and then it goes into this, down forward 1, 4. Down forward 1, 4 is a mid high, but this doesn't jail, which means you can change your blocks after. Boom. So now you might be thinking, well, why would you ever go for a down forward 1-4 if you can just crouch the second hit? Watch this. Here we're going to go to punish. So now I do my down forward 1, which is a mid check, and the mid check forces them to stand. And I notice that this player is always jabbing after my down forward 1, which is my safe mid check. So what do? I finish my string because they're expecting that I'm going to do nothing after this, right? Boom! That's how you frame trap people using your strings. So then everything kind of loops back together. They notice that you're doing the string, so either they're going to crouch block or they're just going to stop pushing buttons. Then you can start messing with them. You can do a down forward 1 into another down forward 1. If they keep on stand blocking because they know you're going to go for down forward 1, you go for down forward 1 into your low because you condition them to stand. This isn't a frame trap. You'll get hit out of this if they start doing a mid themselves, but if you condition them properly, you'll be able to go for this kind of pressure. So just to wrap everything up again, step 1, as a beginner player, don't worry about movement, don't worry about sidestep, don't worry about big combos, don't even worry about learning your whole move list. Learn which is your fastest jab. Then, do a single jab, watch your opponent, see what they do. If you notice that they are always pushing quick buttons after your jab, then do your quick jab combo, which is usually either 1-2 or 2-1. Boom, boom, boom. Next step, once you teach them to start respecting your pressure and to stop pushing buttons, you go for a quick low. Boom, boom, quick low. Then, once they start crouching to beat your low, you check them with a mid. Boom, you check them with a mid. But of course, a mid is 13 frames, which means they can jab you out of your mid. So that means if they push buttons here, they'll stop your mid check, which means now you can either go back to punishing them with a frame trap with jabs, or you can like high crush them. That all loops back. If they start blocking this, your mid poke, your minus, they're probably gonna start pushing buttons after your mid poke. If you notice that they're always pushing buttons after your mid poke, you finish your mid string. Not every character has a mid string, but Dragunov does. So I think Dragunov is a fantastic character for new players to learn. If they start just blocking your mid and they start respecting your pressure because you're going for this, you can either start to go for the low, or if you notice that they're always crouch blocking to avoid your high extension, hit them with a mid launcher to punish them. That's all you need to know. So all I did in this game so far was move number 1, a jab. Move number 2, a jab string. Move number 3 is down forward 1. Move number 4 is your mid extension, your string. Move number 5 is going to be your best low. With Dragunov, it's down 2. That's how you build an offense with 5 attacks in Tekken 8.